Hey people that are interested in cats, the paranormal and things. Today we are in Manchester at the Titanic expedition, so come along with us and have some fun. Could you put my portable chair out for me, please?
Welcome to the Titanic exhibition.
Thanks. I'll sit on it. Oh, fudge.
More than 110 years have passed since the Titanic disaster, but the events of April 14, 1912 still echo to this day.
Ooh.
In this exhibition, you'll discover the entire story of the Titanic, from its design and construction, to life on board, to its tragic sinking. You'll also have a chance to visit the wreck site, more than 2.5 miles below the surface of the North Atlantic Ocean. Using unprecedented artistry and technology, this exhibition brings the Titanic back to life in vivid colour. Set amongst large-scale images, you'll find the original artefacts from the ship, its passengers and crew, and even from the bottom of the sea. You'll also hear actual voices of those who stepped on board, such as second-class passenger Eva Hart.
I thought it was delighted when they offered him a second-class passage in the Titanic. Oh, well, Titanic.
First-class passenger Edith Russell.
Always remember going up on the lift. A little boy said to me, "You know, madam, it's quite an honor. I'm only 14 years old. I'm a lift boy."
And Frank Prentice, assistant purser.
By the grace of God, I came across a lifeboat and they pulled me in.
This exhibition also investigates what happened after the disaster, the dangers of visiting the wreck site, and even the Hollywood movies that have retold the tale. Please feel free to take photos if you'd like, but turn off any camera flashes as these can damage delicate paper items. Try not to touch the walls or the cabinets too, as the priceless artifacts on display are objects of international importance, and we want as many people as possible to learn from them.
And this is the design and construction. Actually, I'll just zoom out. Design and construction, and it says, "Welcome to the expedition," in this area. So we're going to discover and how it was built. So, quite a good. What's this say? It's the first recorded mention of the Titanic. This newspaper clipping represents the first time the names Titanic and the Olympic were ever mentioned. The names were rumoured in an article dated April 23rd, 1908 for the newspaper The Daily News. And there we go. Says Heartland and Wolf Drawing Office Register at Shipping. Show you that. And there you go. That's pretty cool. And then we've got the actual, let's bring it out. It says Titanic by the numbers. Try and lift it up a little bit higher so people can see.
Wow. 16,000 amps generating lots of power, modern housing estate.
That's pretty cool. Quick look. This photograph you take. Wow. What is that?
Felt.
Felt. As in the actual materials that they actually used in the ship. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, none of them are allowed.
There we go.
You can see how they used to dress. So they had like caps. Yeah. It's like, no one's got a smartphone. Can you see that? No one's on a mobile phone. Yeah.
We're,
They
yeah.
had electricity. Can you see? Yeah, they've got newspapers. They've got electricity. Can you see? They've got like electric cars.
There's all the ship workers. Wow.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's a big treat for you, isn't it?
I would have let you have a come. He's a restaurant. There's no space. That's why.
I didn't want
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
And this is the Titanic launch ticket. There's the actual writing. I'm not reading it all out because we'll be here a long time and there's a lot of people here that all want to view it too. So, this is meant to be the actual size of an anchor. Well, the anchor that was for the Titanic. So that's quite some size. That gives you an actual estimation of how big. Well, obviously, it's going to put an absolute huge vessel to, you know, to hold it. And there we go about Titanic's anchor. So during this, feel free to pause the video. Launch of the Titanic. Unfortunately, I can't use a flash because obviously it will ruin everything. But that's the launch postcard. Oops. And this is like clips from the actual film, but obviously that's the original Rose. And the clothes at the time. Wow. All that.
You got this? You got this?
And it says stepping aboard. So let's zoom in on that. So we don't have to go all the way over there. What it would look like. Then we'll do this. Come on.
On the side of your stick.
Pardon?
Stick can only be on the side where your stick is.
Yeah, sorry, here. I know I get violent with my stick. There we go, boarding tickets, which Simon's got hold of. So I've got to give it to this guy that's playing the captain of the ship.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We have first class and second class, Mr. Marvin and Oldworth. Thank you very much. Enjoy your trip. And that's a very handsome beard, sir. Enjoy. Wonderful paintings on your skin. How very modern for 1912.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe they'll catch on.
Maybe. So then it says first and second class that way, and third class goes that way. Wow, look at this. How beautiful is this? Very bright, very pretty. Artifact spotlight and the grand staircase piece. So that's what it was meant to look like. Again, we'll zoom in and then you can stop the video. I can only stand so long because my back's giving out again. And that's what, wow. I'd have my light on, but unfortunately, one thing I love is wooden architecture. Like, wow. How beautiful is that? I'm going to actually try and take the light off. So what's this part of? Can't see. Fragment of Titanic's grand staircase handrail. So if I turn this around a little, and then we do this. If you wish to read, and then we can have a look. How pretty is that? Okay. And this is about first class and la carte dining chair. A la carte, sorry. It's me and my flipping reading. And look at that. How beautiful is that?
Wow, those chairs.
Now that's a chair you'd want to take home.
What?
And then that's the a la carte restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, I'll zoom in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. It's a very pretty chair. Just think all that time that it's lasted as well. And that's for second class dining.
Oh, that's a la carte.
Yeah.
And that's the second class there.
Well,
Still
even
looks
second class
nice.
looks good.
Yeah. Evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but just everything is so good. Yeah.
must be similar decor.
Yeah.
Trying to get over here now. We've zoomed in too much. We don't want to do that. We are naughty. Oh, my flipping legs. Artifact Spotlight, William Henry Harrison letter. Yes, this is well before when people started changing to emails. At least these were a bit more personal. Oops. And there we go. How beautiful.
You're right, Alec.
So basically this person, or this passenger, would have been describing what it was like being on the beautiful ship. Let's see if we can get to this, because reading that one. Beautiful writing as well. Which is more like a work of art in the beautiful envelope. Oh, and what had been written with. It says William Henry Harrison letter. It says the Titanic killer. There we go. I may have to turn my light off for a second. If I can do. No, you can't see it. Let me do this. No, you can't see it. It's a reflection of the... there we go. And it says... Whoops. Disaster strikes. Discover what happened during the dramatic and tragic sinking of the Titanic. And then we have this over here. And that is a Titanic-sized model. So zoom in again. The smoking room. Sorry. Ooh. Wow. That's aboard the Olympic. Wow, look at that. Yeah, it's just over and over again. A cat called Jenny, not Shenny. I know. So there you go. And there's the kitty. Sydney Leslie Goodwin. There you go. And then, oh fudge. Margaret Brown. Oh, sugar. Lawrence Beasley. So these are just more like notable passengers, basically. There's a few more over there. Right. Due to limited fresh water supplies, the Titanic had no onboard laundry facilities. Flipping heck. Soiled linen. And then we've got onboard laundry bag. I was going to say basket for some reason. And then, right. Scotland Road, the main crew corridor, running nearly the entire length of the Titanic on the port side of E deck. Wow. And this is Thomas Mullen's Titanic steward personal notebook. So it's a bit of a write-up on it. Wow, grand dining. Very grand. Wow, very beautiful. That chair. I do love chairs like that. They are built to last. What's that say? First class cutlery. Camera's being a spanner. And the first class napkin and napkin ring. So there we go. Very beautiful. See me, gimbal's having a time of its own. Still would like a chair like that. And this is first class dining. So basically tells you the times that everybody was expected at the tables, what time they got their food, basically. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Basically that's what it would look like. Wow. Serving the masses at sea. So that'll be people booking in. So again, stop the video at any time. So we've got third class dining. And then there's the third class Chinaware. Just stop for a minute. And that's third class floor tile. No way, the battery's going to go on this. Yeah.
What, the gimbal?
Yeah. We'll have to do it by hand. Unbelievable. Swimming pool. Those are the tiles. And the swimming pool tiles. And that's the first class lounge. How pretty is that? And this is obviously still, this is on the Olympic. And that's first class lounge carpet. Just go around. First class lounge window and frame. So quite a bit that was saved. There we go, Turkish baths. And that was the Turkish bath ticket book. So there you go. The gymnasium. Fancy sitting on that. It's like riding a mechanical horse, basically. And that's first class dresser. So we go down to 2. Getting a bit flipping annoyed. Start that again. So 40,000 eggs, 30 tons of fresh meat, 36 tons of potatoes, 1,000 bottles of wine, 2,700 kilograms of butter, 1,000 kilograms of coffee, and 363 kilograms of tea. So they were obviously good coffee drinkers. Artifact Spotlight Titanic deck chair. So that's what they look like. And to be honest, that looks pretty painful to lie on. But at least it lasted the time. Just get over to the writing if I can. And try and zoom in because I'm not going all the way down there. Boiler rooms. Titanic had total of 29 boilers. Wow, I was in the 6 boiler rooms. That's a lot. So that's the Titanic fireman William James Major, and we are lifted up somewhere. It's been a spanner, this camera. Again. Come on, we don't.
We're not allowed lights on the exhibition.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Sorry.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, let's go back to that. So I'm assuming this is the, what is it? William James Major. And that's personal items of the Titanic fireman William James Major. The pocket watch, button and handwood fid used for opening strands of rope. And there's the button and the pocket watch. And then over here, it's Titanic coal. But was that captain's hat?
Yeah. No, it isn't. It's a replica or something.
Oh, is that a replica of
Same
one?
style.
Oh, cool. It's pretty cool. White Star line binoculars. So this is basically describing the Titanic bridge. And this is on aboard the White Star. And we turn around. And there you go. Tells you when the doors are closed. So back to here. If my gimbal suddenly flips, it's decided it's going to be a spanner. Titanic's desperate call for help. So this is basically giving you a description of what the message was like. See if I can bring it in a bit closer. There we go. Wow. Then we've got Titanic macaroni officers. So we'll start from the top. Then we've got this at the front. And that's the communication company. Macaroni room gimbal lamp. How pretty that is. Silver plated. An identical lamp to the photographed on the Titanic by passenger Francis Brown. So basically that's a telegram. To let people know that they were safe after the sinking of the ship. Wireless room macaroni key. Cool. And that's the artifact spotlight. Wallace Hartley's music sheet. We'll have a look at that in a minute. There's the music sheet. And then these are the band. Oops. There we go. There we go. First class passenger Elsie Barrowman. Basically, she's giving you her recollection of what happened or what she felt at the time. And then we have what looks like playing cards and a handkerchief, owned by Elsie Barrowman and unused on board the Titanic. There you go. I'm assuming that's a photograph of the lady. Now, this is on about when they were getting rescued. Right, so this is the captain's rescue foghorn. I'm just going to come past you. And the original photograph negative of passengers being rescued. You'd really not think that anybody would have the time to actually photograph such a disaster. I suppose at the time it was quite unique since it was meant to be an unsinkable ship. So there you go. Now we have got, whoops, sorry the fingers, because my gimbal's battery ran out, even though I charged it not long ago. And that's the victim recovery mission. Gives you time to read. And then obviously there's different dates of what they were doing. I'm just going to go past you, Simon. Oh, I don't want to go in front of them though. That won't be fair on them. I will go across in a minute. Right, so I'm just gonna try not to knock anybody over. No. There we go. So hopefully you got everything. And down in front, I'll have a look in a minute. Oh, it started filming again. Artifact spotlight, deck chair wreckage. Stop recording. It's been an absolute numpty. And that's a Titanic deck chair headrest. Fortunately, the light is making it go out of focus. There we go. Even the treatment of the bodies got treated according to their class. So there you go. What is it? I can't see.
Deck chair fragment.
Again. Life jacket cork. Shows you the material, and that's out of focus. See if this helps. No, we'll just zoom out and do that. No, it's not having any of it. There's a section of the cork, flattened black, removed from a life jacket worn by a victim of the Titanic disaster. Then we've got life jacket tie scrap or twill. That's what that is. Oh, that looks interesting. And then read all about it, and it's about the sinking of the Titanic. And the original copy is the Daily Mirror. Let's see, look at this newspaper. $19.12. Oh, sorry. And then this is the magnificence of the Titanic and some of the well-known passengers on board the ill-fated vessel. Sorry. So we take a photograph. So got to this bit, and now improvements to safety following the disaster. So basically, macaroni messages ignored. Naughty. Marconi then. Oh yeah, it's French. French in it. Duh. And my phone's done a stupid one.
It's Italian macaroni.
Is it Italian? There you go. Thank you. Macaroni. There's me thinking it's macaroni. What a spanner. High speed. Despite ice. Yeah, they should have been going a little bit slower. But saying that, for our time, it would have been slow. To them, too fast. Not enough lifeboats. Yeah. And then I'm just going to go past Simon again. Titanic inquiries.
I remember going up on the lift. Little boy said to me, "You know, ma'am, it's quite an honor. I'm only 14 years old. I'm a little boy." We were sleeping 6 months.
And that's a relief fund check. That's about the Titanic disaster. RMS Titanic appeal card.
No impact. Such as the fact of jamming your brakes on the car. And that was actually stopped.
Whirlwind canvas. An important notice. Salesman copy of the story of the wreck of the Titanic. See that again. Right. Headline, thanks. Sorry. There we go.
And they each carried 50. And if they'd been filled, we could have saved 800, whereas we only saved 500.
We were going to New York in a ship called the Philadelphia, and there came a coal strike and a dock strike, and the ship didn't sail. And my father was delighted when they offered him a second-class passage in the Titanic. The whole world was talking about the Titanic. So we were going to New York in the Titanic and then on to Canada, where we were going to live by train.
I always remember going up on the lift. Little boy said to me, "You know, madam, it's quite an honor. I'm only 14 years old. I'm a lift boy."
But we were sleeping 6 in a bunk, and we were treated like as if we were in a third-class restaurant as regards the food. We were not allowed to go in any part of the ship except the deck that we were allowed to go on.
My mother was absolutely unlike herself in every way. She couldn't bear the thought of it, but she didn't know why. And when she got aboard this ship, my father said to her, "Now, what are you afraid of? Such a beautiful ship. You can't be afraid." And she said, "But I don't know what I'm afraid of. But this I know, that I will not go to bed in this ship. I will sleep in the daytime. I will sit up at night. And whatever you may say, nothing will hold me." And that's what she did. And so she was wide awake, sitting up dressed as ever, when this terrible thing did happen.
No impact as such. It was just like jamming your brakes on the car. And that was that. She stopped. We had a porthole open. I looked out. The sky was clear, and the stars were shining, and the sea was dead calm.
She felt this bump, which her actual words were, which felt like a train pulling into the station, a jerk. And she instantly knew this was this something that she'd been so frightened of. And she immediately wakened my father, and they didn't go up on deck, which I was very pleased about. And of course he came back straight away and just said to her, "You put this thick coat on, I'll put another one on," and got me up out of bed.
And we had orders to get the lifeboats out. And because the order, the same old order, women and children. And we swung the lifeboats out and gradually filled them up. First boats were away on the port side. The first boats away didn't have many passengers on board. They were afraid to go down. There was a 70-foot drop to the water. And they didn't think she was going to sink. And a few of the first boats on the port side got away with half filled. Don't forget, we had 16 lifeboats, and they each carried 50. And if they'd been filled, we could have saved 800, whereas we only saved 500.
All the lights were burning, and you could see that she was going down. You could see that her stern was getting pretty low in the water. She was certainly going down. There was no doubt about it then. And well, we got away clear of the ship, and we just laid on the oars until eventually they realized that she'd gone, and we heard all the screams. We couldn't do anything.
I was hanging on to a board. We had 2 boards, starboard and port, which said, "Keep clear of propeller blades." And I was hanging on to one of these, and I was getting higher and higher in the air, and I thought, well, now I'll go, and I dropped in. I had a lifeboat on, and I hit the water with a terrific crack. Luckily, I didn't hit anything when I dropped in. There were bodies all over the place. And then I looked up at the Titanic. The propellers were right out of water. The rudder was right out. I could see the bottom. And then gradually she glided away, and that was that. That was the last of the Titanic. I didn't want to die. I mean, I didn't see much chance of living. I was gradually getting frozen up.
And then the horrible fear was in my heart, and I think everybody else's, that the dreadful, dreadful suction that had drawn us towards the Titanic would suck us under the Titanic.
By the grace of God, I came across a lifeboat, and they pulled me in. And there was a fireman dead in the bottom. There was about a foot of water in this boat. There was another man who was trying to. He seemed to be trying to get away from it again. I don't know what was the matter with him. They were tying him down, and the rest were women and children. And I sat on a seat, and who should be? I sat next to Mrs. Clark, the girl I'd put into a lifeboat. And she said, the first thing she said, have you seen my husband? So I said, no, I haven't. I expect he'll be all right. Anyway, I was in a pretty bad way then, as you can imagine, frozen solid almost. And she wrapped me round with a cloak. She had some sort of blanket or a coat on. Anyway, I think she probably saved my life, I don't know. But I saved hers. At least I think I might have done. I think I did. And she saved mine.
Inky black night, starlit, and not a ripple in the sea. And the kind of cold, well, if you want to know what kind of cold it is, just open your Frigidaire door, take a seat inside and shut the door. And there I was, with nothing on practically, soot stockings, no underwear, no nothing, just about freezing to death. I sat on the gunwale, and the children were crying and whimpering. It suddenly struck me, I believe I'll play music, and then the little children maybe will be diverted and amused. And there I sat, and all night long I played them at cheats. And the poor little children were so interested in the music box that most of them stopped crying.
Okay, people, the next bit about the Titanic I will actually show before next Thursday's live. So anyway, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.